We're back, guys. It's Adam with BB Barbecue and Pits. Today I've got a cool video for you, and you know, it's the first one in a while. I'm glad my subscribers have tuned in to all my videos and you guys have really liked what I'm doing. Today we're going to do some Eastern Carolina chopped pork that you know, this is kind of in my wheelhouse here, just being from Eastern Carolina, and I'm going to show you guys a super simple recipe, and it produces great results every time. And we got a few things to talk about, channel stuff, so stay tuned. So we're back on the porch here. 99 cents a pound pork butts. I picked up 3 of them because we're gonna cook these up today for my little boy's first birthday party. So I'm gonna show you guys how we're gonna trim these up real quick and then put some seasoning on them. Now we've opened up our pork butts here, and the first thing I'm looking at is the money muscle side, and then this is the bone side. Get you a sharp knife. We're not going to chop these up too bad, just because let's keep it simple. You know, this is just for eating some good chopped pork. So I just want to get some of this fat off. And then you see there's a vein here that could potentially make it taste kind of weird. But like I said, don't get too in the weeds on this. Just kind of knock down the fat a little bit. Get any kind of discoloration out like that. So you can kind of tell there's a vein there, but we're going to keep this super simple and to the point. There it is. There we go. So I got that out, and then just kind of level this thing off so we can get some good even cooking. I'm going to chop this corner off. So as you know, cooking barbecue, just round some corners out here. Corners will burn, that's for sure. I think that's pretty good. So we'll stick with that, and I'm gonna knock these other 2 out same way. I might chop that big one down a little bit just so I can fit all 3 on the same drum. But other than that, that's basically it. All right, so we got those knocked down. So all I'm gonna do is hit it with some hot barbecue rub on each side. So make sure you shake it up. That black pepper likes to settle to the bottom. So we've got a heavy coat on this. As the wind will cooperate here. Don't hit this fat cap with seasoning, because that's kind of a waste of your seasoning. We're just going to use this during the cook as a protective layer. So that's going to kind of protect us during the cook. Make sure it doesn't burn any of the meat. So make sure you hit every side. Nice generous layer of seasoning. And I'm not going too complicated today. I usually like to stack seasonings, but for this video, I want the pork to shine through on this style of barbecue. So I just hit that one. We're going to do the other 2, and then we're going to fire up the smoker. So in the spirit of this video and keeping everything local, I've got some caveman lump charcoal, and I got some caveman smoking chunks from my local farmer's market. So just really trying to support my local community, and let's try this charcoal out. This is my buddy Lee, who runs that company. He just makes it in his spare time. So I told him, man, I'll definitely try it out. Put it right in the middle. So since the last video, I've actually gotten a few more toys. So my buddy Vernon gave me this grill gun, and as I like to call him, my barbecue brother teammate. And this is an easy way to start the charcoal really quick. So that's what it looks like. We got it right in the middle. So what we're going to do, we're going to close the lid here. Let's open the exhaust vent. Open the exhaust vent all the way. I got the intakes open all the way. And I've got my fan going underneath the gazebo here. So we'll let that come up to temperature. We're looking for about 275 to 300 range. Anywhere in between there is going to be good. All right, 275. That didn't take very long at all. Maybe top 5 minutes. Totally controlling this temp by the intakes. You see we're barely cracked, and then we got that exhaust wide open. So let's add our wood. Little pro tip too, I learned on the competition circuit. Put you some aluminum foil on the handle, and then you can hang the lid off the side and put it up against that, and you're not getting grease all over your drum. Got one big chunk of hickory we're going to throw in there. We're going, then we're going 2 chunks of pecan, or pecan if you're from up north. So we're going super old school today. We're just going to put the grate on top, and that's it. So we're going to have the pork butts rotating right over the live fire. That's kind of how the old timers do it with the whole hogs around here. So that's how we're going to do it in the drum. And then we're going to get that full effect of the grease dripping down on the coals, and it's going to be off the chain. Let's close that down. We're going to still leave the exhaust wide open. Let's let some of that dirty smoke get out of there. So I'm going to let that wood kind of catch. And when I start seeing that kind of light blue clear smoke, we'll add the pork butts. All right, it's time. I brought the pork butts out. And look at how good those sweated in, that nice red color. So let's go ahead and add them to the drum. Add the big boy first, then we'll kind of work around it. We're going fat cap down. Oh yeah, those fit in there easily. And we'll give you a peek of that. Alright, and that's what we're looking like. So I'm going to close this up, because if you cooked on a drum cooker, you know you need to close it up. You don't want it to get out of control. That temperature can get away from you. But we're going to spin this grate about every 30 minutes, and we'll check on them. We're going to try to get that color that we want. Alright, while that first 30 minutes is going, we're going to do a patio update. It'll be the last one because it's all finished, as you've kind of seen in the video, but I'll show you. Alright, this is it. So, getting it all prepared for my son's birthday. And look, this thing's so new I didn't even take the bags off of the cushions yet. So we got that, and then you can kind of put an umbrella there, which I've got on the table. So we got a table. And then the best area, got all our grills, got the Weber and the drums, got the fan rolling with a light, put in 2 electrical hookups, and then late in the afternoons I like to roll down the shades. So that's it, and we finished the porch. So I stained all that, sanded it, and stained the porch. So that came out pretty nice too. So that's it. That is the update. And you know, I've always got stuff in the works. I might end up putting a little tabletop bar area right here. You never know. It's endless out here. Listen, you guys let me know if you want a specific video about how I created the patio and everything. I've got a couple of videos that I saved about like the step-by-step process and everything. If you guys are interested, just comment down below, and you know, I can always make a video specifically about the barbecue patio and everything. Anyway, if you guys haven't subscribed yet, subscribe down below. And you know, I really appreciate all the support from you guys. And you know, I know it's been a while since I've posted, but we've got a few videos in the works now. I actually sold the 55-gallon drum, Dorothy. I sold that to a subscriber, so that kind of was cool to pass that along and everything. But we're making another drum coming up next weekend, so I'll get that edited and post that video as well. We're actually going to weld this time because I got a little welder from Harbor Freight, but we're building my friend Hunter a drum smoker, so stay tuned for that video. All right, we've been chugging right along. So the first 30 minutes is done, and then we're just going to check, make sure everything looks good. Yep, so give it a spin there, just to kind of make sure there's no hot spots. That's what we're looking like. You hear that grease dripping. It's smells good. So we're going to keep a check on these. We're going to hit them with the spray bottle. So we're going to spray them down with a little bit of water once it starts drying up and tacking up. So we're going to let these go for another 30 minutes. Alright, another 30 minutes down, so that's an hour and a half. Let's see what's going on inside here. Alright, let that smoke clear out. Woo, that grease, boy, I'm telling you. 3 pork butts is a lot on a drum by itself. Definitely gonna flip these bad boys. I mean, you can hear that grease popping, boy. And this is just water that I'm spraying just to kind of keep everything nice and juicy. These look good, got good color. I know it's hard to see with all the grease. Woo! Flip these over. And don't be alarmed if the backside's kind of dark. That's just because it's fat. So fat's gonna burn a little bit, but that's okay. Anyway, I think that looks pretty good. Even though we got a lot of grease going. Can barely even get it on camera. So we're gonna let that go for another 30 minutes and then we're probably gonna wrap them up. This thing is chugging right along, I'm telling you. Don't be alarmed if you see a lot of that smoke like I was showing you. It's just the grease hitting the coals. You just need to understand that because we're running a clean fire, and a lot of people will think sometimes like, oh man, that's dirty smoke or whatever. But when you're cooking this way, it's very normal to have that amount, especially since I don't have a baffle plate in there, I don't have a water pan, I don't have anything. So I mean, we're getting direct grease right on the coals, and you could have a grease fire in the bottom. You just got to control your air intake. Make sure you shut it down to calm it down a little bit, and then you'll open it back up, you know, and you can kind of tell when it hits a chunk of wood. Sometimes it needs a little bit more oxygen to work through it. And this is just all from cooking on drums for a long time. You kind of learn these things. But like I said, we're probably going to get close to wrapping them. They're getting about the color that I want them. So kind of that dark mahogany color. And around 2 hours is sometimes a good mark, especially cooking like this, because you're going to get color a lot faster with that direct heat. So what we'll do is wrap it up, and I'll show you kind of that process after we pull them here. All right, 2 hour mark. So it's time to start wrapping. And I'm going to show you guys that process. We'll come over here to the table. I've got 2 pieces of aluminum foil, and I've got a pan underneath. So like one of those pans I was using earlier. Pan underneath. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put the pork butt here. We got the secret sauce, which is another local product, Charlie Mills barbecue sauce seasoning pack. If you haven't tried that, I mean, that's about as Eastern NC as you can get. I'm telling you. I mean, I could pure drink this out the bottle. It's so good. So we're gonna add that in there, and then we're just gonna double wrap it and throw it back on the grill. Even though we've been battling grease fires, this is what one of them looks like, good mahogany color on there. I was thinking, shoot, I should have probably cleaned the smoker before I did this. But that's okay. Looks good, smells good. A little bit of that sauce on there. Maybe a little bit more. There we go, got the red pepper flakes in there. Wrap this up. I met Charlie Mills' granddaughter runs a company now, Wendy, and you know, I met them the other day. I went by and talked to her, and I mean, you can't get more down-to-earth people, you know. And I'll put the link in the description of their barbecue sauce so you can buy it. But let's get this back on the smoker. Oh yeah, and that color is spot on. Smells great. We're gonna do the same exact thing to this one and the other one, and then we're gonna put them back on the smoker, and then I'll kind of tell you what we're going to do from there. Alright, so picked up some apple cider vinegar from Food Line. Got Charlie Mills seasoning packet here, and this makes 1 gallon. Like I said, if you want some authentic Eastern Carolina whole hog sauce that the old timers used to use, this is it. So as you can see, I've kind of poured out a little bit of the apple cider vinegar to make room. So then you're just going to pour it in. Be careful now. Don't want to waste any of this goodness. And this stuff, like I said, if you've never had this style of barbecue, oh, there I go, wasting it. And just a little bit. Alright, there we go. Just a little bit. If you've never had this style of barbecue, this is a good representation of what this part of the state prefers for its barbecue, or as we like to call a real barbecue. And we just shake it up, And there's your sauce. And then that's the same stuff that I put in, that was just an older batch. I put in the wrap juice. So we'll pull that out and then you kind of add it as needed. All right, it's finally time. So I just checked that it's the smaller of the three. So it's no surprise that they're finished. Oh, look at that, 210, 211. And you see, I'm not really worried about the number. The number just gives me a reference. It's more of, look at how this is going in. No resistance. That's what I'm looking for. So this one's done. Let's check this one while we're here. 185, 198. Yeah, so these are close. These are close. And the time, let me close this really quick. So while I'm talking, I don't want the fire to get out of control. But I'm going to pull that small one right after I shut this camera off. But the key here is no resistance. I'm going to pull it off, let it sit out on the table for 10 minutes, and then we'll throw it in the Cambro. So there it is, pulled it out, the smaller one. We're going to let it sit out for 10 minutes like I said. And then I've got my Cambro here that just holds meat, just a hot box. So this is for the rest period. So we at least want it to rest 2 to 3 hours just for that muscle to relax, and it's just going to make it a lot more tender and juicy. We'll let these go for about 30 more minutes. They'll probably be done, the last two. And it's only been 4 hours and 5 minutes. So I'm telling you, man, these drum cookers, they cook fast. There's a reason they call it hot and fast. It's, you know, they get it done, and it's nice because you don't have to spend all day cooking. So we've got everything in the hot box, and then I just, like I said, I kind of let it sit out for a second just so it would stop cooking, because if you put it directly in there, you're running the risk of it's going to cook a little bit more. So now we're just holding for 2 to 3 hours, and then we'll pull it out and see what we got and chop it up. It's time. So it's been over 2 hours. So let's pop this thing open, and you see we got these nice little trays in here. Hold all the pork. Smells freaking awesome. All right, let's bring these inside and chop them up. It's always a good sign. Pull the bone completely out. All right, this looks good. Pretty tender. All right, so I separated all that fat that didn't render out, and then we're just gonna get to chopping. And we chopped up all three, and this is what we came out with, a whole large tray, so that's plenty of food. And this is where our Charlie Mills sauce comes in handy. I know, aren't you excited? All right. Oh yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Lay it in there. Now let's mix it up. Sauce kind of infused in here. Boy, you're a trip. Alright, it's the moment of truth. I've got little Reese here with me, and he's about to be 1 year old. Isn't that right? We're going to try the barbecue, okay? Let's try the barbecue. Alright. Yeah, hold on, baby. Here you go. Here, you want some barbecue? Try it out. What? Here, try it out, baby. Alright, here you go. Try it out. Oh, Lord. Super tender. The reason I like this style so much is because the acid from the vinegar is going to kind of cut that fat. It's going to cut the fat down from the pork butts. Man, you can't beat that. This is stuff I grew up on. All we need to do is put it on a sandwich now. But thanks for watching, guys. Stay tuned for that drum video that I told you about. See you down the road.